Yo, 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 welcome to the podcast. This is Big Reptile Talk, the place where I bring amazing people in the industry on. We chat with them, see what they got going on. I don't care if you keep ball pythons, elephants, tigers, lions, alligators, crocodiles. I don't care what you keep. If you love animals, then I would love to talk to you. Super excited today. Today's going to be an amazing show. But before we start the show, of course, we got to pay those bills. So shout out to Basement Pythons, man. Great supporter of the channel. They produce amazing animals. Make sure you hit up their Morph Market. Make sure you hit up their Instagram. Tell them I sent you. Shout out to Mile High Mutations. Great brother, supports the channel. He's producing amazing snakes. Again, make sure you hit up his Morph Market, his Instagram, check out his snakes. Shout out to my brother Eugene over at Morphed Ambitions, man. He's producing amazing high quality snakes, and he has amazing mulch. So one-stop shop for everything. Shout out to my brother Paul over at Large Marge Morse, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. And of course, we got to go out to Canada. My brother Mike, MKL Exotics, producing amazing hognose snakes. If you're into hognose snakes, you definitely need to hit them up. They're beautiful snakes. They're rear fang venomous. Shout out to my brother Fry's Critters. He's in the chat. I appreciate you supporting the channel, man. You're my brother. Thank you for being an amazing podcast sponsor. Mad River Servants and Rattery, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel, brother. You have amazing snakes. You definitely need more attention. Shout out to Moreno over at You Already Know Morse, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel. He's producing amazing Exantic snakes. And anybody will tell you I'm pretty low key. I love the Exantic morph. I love the pastel morph. So give him some love. Shout out to Matt Yates Reptile Company, man. I just appreciate your support, man. Much love to Ball and Hand Pythons. Check them out. Definitely check out King's Reptiles, man. They're doing some insane stuff. And last but not least, my brother Low Life Exotics, man. I appreciate you for being a sponsor of the channel. Today's going to be a fun show. We are bringing a husband and wife duo, Rice Family Reptiles. So when we come back, they're going to be in the hot seat, man.
Whoa, big reptile talk. Yeah, we working. Big reptile talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah, love that we got for them we think, yeah, big reptile talk. Let's talk about reptiles.
Welcome to the podcast. We got Mr. Billy and Miss Dawn from Rice Family Reptiles in the building. How y'all doing today?
Doing great, Derek. Appreciate you having us.
Excited to have you here, man. You and your family have been doing amazing things, man. So first off, tell us, how happy are you with your 2022 season, and how is 2023 treating your Rice Family Reptiles?
Well, our males got off to a slow start this year, but other than that, very happy now as we've got pretty much all of them in the fold and things are moving along really well. Super excited about what we're making this year, but very excited about next year.
Okay. I love that. Now, snakes are so, they're not, right now they're not mainstream, I like to say. So my question to you and your wife is like, why ball pythons?
Well, that's kind of a funny story. My daughter and I went to the Orlando show about probably 8 years ago now. She was only like 4. So we go to the Orlando show and we're looking for some blue tongue skinks. And it's kind of out of season. They don't have any babies whatsoever. And she ends up going and wrapping a ball python around her waist from Family Reptiles. That's down there, I think in Lakeland, Florida, or maybe farther down. I'm not sure. But anyway, so she wraps this thing around her waist, and we weren't really into snakes at all, but we got them, and she loved them, and it's just kind of grew from there.
So your daughter kind of got y'all into the hobby.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I love that. Man. Now you have some incredible animals, man. So either one of y'all, tell me, like, what are y'all current projects right now? What are y'all working on?
Well, we're working G-Stripe, Desert Ghost, Clowns, working lavender projects, working a lot of lace stuff. Really trying to make a lot of lace stuff. Really, really love the lace project and excited where it's headed. Then I would say we hit a new Xanthic combo. So we're trying to work some Xanthic pieds. Really cool combo we hit with that. It ended up being Fire, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, G-Neck, Special, TSK Xanthic, and a set pied. So we got a lot in the mix there, and it's really crazy looking. So we're excited to get that project going as well. But there's a lot of projects. I don't know what we're most excited about. Kind of like everything.
Right. Y'all not new to this. Y'all true to this. How long?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been breeding?
8 years now. Ever since we got our, I'd say, hobby getting ready to breed for 2 years of that, then breeding as a real hobbyist, really strong, going after it pretty well for 2 years of that, then decided probably four, I'd say about 4 years of it now, being very serious business aspect of it.
Right. I love that. You turned your passion into a business. I love that. Now I want to have a little fun. I like to, learn about people and also have fun. So I'm gonna give you a hot seat question. I've had Ozzy on the show, Kabelka, a lot of the top tie-in breeders. They say that they are designer ball python makers. So, my question to you is, a lot of them will compare themselves to stores. If you ask Ozzy, he'll tell you, I produce designer ball pythons. I'm the Gucci of ball pythons. I look at Kabelka as being like the Louis Vuitton of ball pythons. So if I come shop with Rice Family Reptiles, what store best describes you? Like, where am I shopping at?
Porsche. We'll take that from Justin.
I love it. Okay.
We'll just take that from Justin.
Okay. Forrest. Now, speaking of Justin, man, I gotta ask, man, like, y'all were doing y'all thing, y'all were killing it. Next thing I know, I see you pop up, on Canova's radar. So how did this happen? How did this Rice Family Reptiles and Canova partnership happen?
Well, we were great customers before we become great friends, and then great friendship led into a partnership. So it's kind of evolved over, I'd say, about 4 years of purchasing animals and up over 100 animals or so from Justin. So it really evolved just from customer to customer base to just a true friendship to where we wanted to work together.
Stay with us and know each other on a personal level to where we feel comfortable that we were just really good for each other as far as the partnership.
Okay, I love that. That's what's up, man. To form that partnership with Canova, man, you in essence are learning from the best, man. This is the king of ball pythons. Like, so kudos to you, man. I love that. Now, I love that you have your wife here. We're gonna have a couple questions for her, but real quick, how awesome is it to be chasing your dream and have your wife's support?
Well, in my case, it's been my whole life, because my dream to start with was to be in the timber industry, which I'm in, and it's taken a lot of support to get me through that all these years. I mean, it's extremely demanding, extremely hardworking, tough industry, and it's something that we've that she's already had to support me that far. And now we move into reptiles, and not only has she supported me, but my wife and my daughter both have branched out and have started their own little lines of, my daughter loves hognose and my wife loves geckos, which my daughter loves the geckos just as much. So they started that as well.
I love that family affair, man. Now,
yeah.
Now, this might get you in trouble. Have you ever, your wife's here, have you ever fibbed about the price of a snake for a project? Have you ever said, honey, I need this snake, it's $1,000, and she ended up finding out it's about $5,000?
No, I've never had to fib, but I had to start with a lot of complaints. these are costing so much. but Derek, everything that changes that is you sell one for that price, and then all of a sudden that flips, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I love snakes."
I love that. I love that. Now, now this is for her. I feel like all the industry leaders have amazing business mottos. If you look at Justin, if you look at Canova, his motto is the snakes of tomorrow, today. If you look at Ozzy, his is shut up and breathe. If you look at Gavin of Balls to You, it's quality in, quality out. So my question for her, like what's the Rice Family Reptiles business motto?
I would say if I had to pick one right now, it would be quality over quantity. Because although we have several hundred at this point, day one it was one of the best ones we could get. Even when we had 10, we want to get the absolute best that was out there at the time. So it has built over time, but since day one, I believe it's been quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. Might have to adjust your thing a little bit. Susie says she can't hear you. But I heard you though. Quality over quantity. I definitely agree. I think that it don't necessarily chase the dollar. Chase the projects that you want to invest in. Chase those quality projects, and you're gonna produce quality animals. So I definitely agree. Now, to see y'all again, like I said, form this merger with Canova, you're so successful, and I feel like every business out there, they have like a business model, or like they sit down and they say, okay, these are the top 3 things we need to do to be successful. So my question to you is like, what are the top 3 things that maybe you say, okay, if we do these top 3 things, we'll be successful?
Well, not particularly top 3, but we want to take care of our customers. We want to educate and inform, as well as we want to mentor people, so people can feel free to reach out. We're wanting to be with them and through their whatever their dream is with it, whether it be a collection base, they want to build a nice collection, they just want to own a few nice pets, or if they want to be breeders like we are, we're going to support them through the entire process and give them the best advice that we possibly can. So.
We really pride ourselves in once you help with us at all, like we will want to come back because we're here for you. That's how we would want somebody to do for us. So that's what we're going to do for everybody.
Okay. Yeah, you might take your headset out because I can't hear you. I can hear him, but I can't hear her. All right, now talk. Maybe I can hear you. Talk now. Maybe I can hear you.
How's that, Derek? Can you hear me?
That's a lot better. That's definitely a lot better. Definitely a lot better. Now, you're killing it. You're making an amazing animal. So kind of give us that advice, for new breeders coming into the game. What's the way for 2023? Like, what projects do you think people need to be in to be successful?
Well, it depends on what type of success you want. I mean, everybody has a different goal. So depending on your goals, in all things, buy the best that you possibly can. Like if someone's coming in now, the market is perfect for buyers right now. So this is a great time for somebody to really add some quality, and the prices will come back. Like, we have not slowed down investing whatsoever. I mean, we're covering our costs, and then everything that we make more than that, we're purchasing more animals right now. So we're doing everything that we can to continue to grow, and we're not sitting back happy or worried or anything like that. We're moving forward with growing the business, and I would say take advantage of the great buying opportunities.
Right. Because a lot of people say we're in a recession, which is perfect. Like, it's just like stocks. When the prices go down, buy low, sell high. This is money game.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love it. Now, just to have a little fun, you're in the reptile hobby. Your family's there with you. Now this is just for me, just to have a little fun. This is gonna help me form my opinion about your wife. And so now I want to know, since you've been breeding ball pythons for 8+ years, what's the best reptile related gift your wife has ever got you?
Reptile related. She
I
got
feel
me.
like I'm buying snakes all the time.
She got us a really cool sign made for our snake facility. It was a very cool steel sign, laser cut and everything. It's very cool.
Okay. I'll take that. Laser steel sign. I'll take that. But next time I bring you on my podcast, what I love to see is I would love for her to be like, you know what, honey, I got you this big chain. Has a ball python on it. It's full of diamonds. You the king of ball pythons, baby. Rock this chain when you at the reptile expos.
She'd rather put it in a real one.
Hey, that makes sense. Make money, reinvest into the business. I love that. My Animal House, I appreciate you that super chat, man. Much love, My Animal House. Thank you. Now, I love to learn what you're doing, what you got going on, but I also want people to be able to come here and learn. So let's talk about problems. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people don't understand this. It's more to breeding than just throwing them in the tank, and that it is what it is. So my question to you is, like, when it comes to breeding, what were some of the problems that you first encountered, and how did you overcome them?
Well, problems when we first started would be basically just really didn't have as much problems. Really, the problems come more after we got more of them, and it's just simple things like keep your thermostats right. Don't have issues with too much heat because you'll have slugs, and just simple things like keeping your tubs really clean so you don't have bacteria issues or anything like that. So,
Kind of like little tricks we've learned over time that make things work better and more efficient.
yeah,
Right.
but also have plenty of backup males, because that's something I think all of us get into. You want to breed your best males, but still, I would have plenty of backup males, because man, I had a tough time with them this year. Like, this is our worst year ever for males, having a very slow start.
Right. It'll get better for you. It'll definitely get better for you. Now, this is for Miss Don. I'm kind of curious. You know your husband the best, right? So my question to you is, you've been breeding for 8 years. I want you to time travel with me. All right, so we're going back in time. You guys have hit that first clutch. I want you to give me an imitation of your husband. How excited was he when he seen that first clutch?
I think he was almost as excited as when he saw his first kid. Oh, he was very excited though. He was beyond ecstatic. So,
What about when the first snake pipped?
after that first clutch, we were like, hey, I think we can do this. This is manageable. We totally can do this, and then went from there.
I agree. That's probably one of the best feelings. I think you'll never forget your first clutch. And then, when you, like you said, when you see that snake come out, Susie's laughing. When you see that first snake come out, it's like, okay, my dream is reality. I could do this. You know what I mean?
That's kind of, we went from, in a 2-year span, we went from very fun hobby deal to like, I think Pompeys and things were coming out, or no, there wasn't even that. We weren't even that far into it then. Batman probably was out at that time, and it was the big thing to make. But we went gunning straight for the top after like 2 years of just, you need to have those few animals and have those moments to where you can do that. You have enough success. You're not making animals sick or harming your animals in any type of way. You have confidence built up in yourself, and I think everybody goes through that when they first start, and then once you see that you can do it and you can be very successful, then we just kind of took off and hit the ground running.
Right. I love that, man. I love it. Now, just to have a little fun, we love all the breeders out there, but currently right now, who's your favorite breeder?
Justin.
That's so cheap. I knew you was gonna say that. That is so cheap. I love it. No, Justin is killing it though, man. I definitely agree. He's killing it.
It's Justin this weekend to pick up some animals, so definitely Justin.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, man. As I asked this question, I already knew what he's gonna say. Now, having such a close relationship with him, when you came into the game, do you feel like he was your mentor? Like if you had a question, was he the first person you were calling?
At the very first, it wasn't Justin as much. We had like Steve Morse, Steve Casino. He he guided us in a lot of directions, and we did some good things with him. But as soon as we got really serious about making a business out of it, we went to Steve and then to Justin about the same time. So yes, like Steve helped me at the very beginning a lot, and then after that, we had a lot of dealings with Justin, and I think our relationship just built off of like every time I'd go, he said I was kind of asking the right questions and just heading in the right direction with things, and so we just kind of had a good eye for morphs and combos and things like that.
Right. Now, I always imagine, Justin is the king of ball pythons. I always imagine, he'd have guard dogs, a moat with alligators, snipers on the roof, like, because this is the holy grail. So how is it when you got the chance to actually first visit his facility? How like what, was you just like at Disneyland?
Man, it's overwhelming. Like when I first went there, I mean, I did a great job of asking questions, but not a good job of checking out the animals because there were just so many and so many different projects. It literally overwhelmed you, I think, the first time you go there. Unless you've been in it for a long time, I think you probably wouldn't be as overwhelmed. You've been to plenty of shows. But if you just walk into that facility and see everything that's made there, just continual improvements on what we're trying to do with ball pythons, it blows your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Susie from Ship Your Reptiles said Justin has the most amazing front gate.
He does.
And you're not getting in unless you
Yeah.
Does he have snipers?
No.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I love it.
I would have snipers.
I love it. And also, man, shout out to Ship Your Reptiles, man. Definitely a great company to ship your reptiles with. Now, give us that knowledge, man. Like I said, I love having fun, but I want people to come here and learn. So, jumping into the business, what do you think is like the best game plan? Do you feel like it's better to stock up on females first? Do you think it's better to stock up on males? Like, how did you do it when you got into the game?
Well, we did it the wrong way. We stacked females, plenty of females, but not powerful enough females, and that's something that we kind of did wrong at the very start. But at the same time, you got to get used to everything. So you're not going to do it perfect, and if you do it perfect, you probably could have made perfect better anyway. So, we probably should have went a lot heavier with our females to start with, but at the same time, we want to make sure we can be successful with it. And now we're finally getting some of our really good females up to size, and this year will be good, but next year we really got some really nice females come along.
I'm excited.
I would definitely say put your money in the females, because there's, especially right now in this market, buy all the females that you can, and then get them up to size. If you can't already buy them as breeders, you can buy them as breeders. They're absolutely worth their money. I've never bought a breeder that I haven't made money on.
That makes sense. He's giving you that knowledge, man, and he's been doing this for 8 years with him and his family. So I need to pay attention. He's giving us excellent knowledge. Now I want to have a little fun. I want to talk about Tinley, man. You're going to Tinley. I've seen that you went and you were right there with Cabelka, man. Like, how is it going to Tinley with Cabelka? Is it like going with like a rock star?
It's miserable. Don't walk around Tinley with Justin. You'll never get anywhere. Everybody stops him. Everybody wants to talk to Justin. It's cool because like we talk so much, sometimes our throats get sore. And I'm like walking around eating water, but Justin like takes the whole crowd. Like, so being with Justin at a show, you're not going to see much of the show. You're going to see plenty of his customers and fans, but you're not going to see much of the show.
Right? You almost got to have security, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I love it.
Last time when we went to Tinley, we didn't vend, and we flew out with our daughter, and all we did was walk around, meet people, shake hands, and introduce ourselves to all the different breeders, and of all the different kinds of animals, not just ball pythons. And we were talking about how we were there for 2 days, and when we got home, we did not make it to everyone. And so we tried our absolute best to make it everybody. If we missed you, we really tried to make it to everyone, just to say, hey, we're Rice Reptiles. You know, we'd like to introduce ourselves because a lot of people still are not real familiar with us, and we want you to be cool. If you see an animal that we have, we want you to know it's coming from a great breeder.
Right. I love that networking, man. I think that's high in this reptile industry. You almost have to network. You have to have social media. You have to put yourself out there because people want to buy snakes from people that they know, and if they don't know you, you're not going to make any sales. So I definitely agree with you. Networking is so important. Now, you know, you've been doing this for 8 years. Like, you know, at what point in your breeding career did you say, okay, we have something? I'm on to something.
I would say, yeah, halfway through we realized that, and we pretty much we knew how well it was doing. We just wanted to make sure at the start that we did it right. We knew what we were doing, but after that, as soon as we started, like literally the first breeder purchases we made from Justin, the first babies that hatched from that, we knew right then how well it would do.
Like, okay, we got something.
Yeah, because I mean, you see, when you buy breeders and you can go ahead and breed them and you make more than what they're worth, you know you're on to something.
Got the game plan. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Now, you know, are you excited? And let me rewind this. I had Billy from Mutation Creation on, and he told me back in the day that he first started breeding normals, and he said he was paying $2,000 for normals, and this was years and years ago. So my question to you is: are you happy that you got started now, like 8 years into the game, or do you feel like you wish you would have started earlier, or do you think you started like at just the right time?
We wish we would have started when we were 20 years old instead of, you know, pushing 40 years old, because we both, I mean, we're almost at retirement age, you know, in our careers. I've been teaching for 22 years, and Billy has 3 timber companies, and he's been logging and doing timber since he was 18 years old. And so we have said many times that we wish we had started this when we were younger, because there's just like, you know, we can't really fathom what point we may be at if we had started.
Right. Kind of regret not starting sooner. Probably being quadrillionaires by now, huh?
Hopefully.
I don't know about that.
I love it. Now we got somebody backstage. In a couple minutes, we're gonna bring him out. Who do you think it is?
Ozzy.
Nah, but I'll let you know in a minute. We're gonna bring him out in a second. Now I want you to talk about like holdbacks. You know, people get into the game, and they want to know like how do you guys go about selecting your holdbacks?
Well, it just if it's way better than what's on the shelf, that's pretty much a holdback. It's got to be a project that you want to do. You got to be passionate about the project, or at least want to see where it leads you anyway. So I just say anything that's way better than what's on the shelf, that's holdback.
Right.
Very picky, because there's been a few that he's selling right now, and I try to talk him into keeping.
So you wanted to sell, and the wife said, "No, I really like those. We got to keep those."
Well, if I sell it, I can go to the candy shop.
I love it. Now let's bring out our guest. He's backstage. I'm a huge fan of him. Big Mr. Bill Stegall, Phoenix Reptiles.
Hey, Billy, Derek, and Dawn.
How are you?
Hey, Bill.
I'm sure everybody thought like the secret guest was going to be Justin, and now everybody's like clicking their laptop off or something, or Ozzy, and they're like, "Oh, fuck this."
Now, how do y'all know each other? How long have y'all known each other?
We haven't
Go ahead, Bill.
for a real long time, but we love Mr. Bill. He's a super great guy.
I think we've been talking to Mr. Bill for at least a year now, Mr. Bill, probably.
Yeah, at least a year. Met you guys initially at an Arlington NARBC.
Yeah.
And then I think the one 6 months later is when y'all came and visited my facility for the Friday night party. And so, yeah, it's been a year or so, I think.
Yeah,
Man.
Bill puts on the show if you haven't been to his place in Arlington.
Man, I'm jealous. Like and that's what I'm gonna ask. And we definitely gonna talk to because Bill is a legend, so we definitely gonna chop it up with him for a second, man. So Bill, man, you killing it, man. I've been seeing the stuff that you're posting, man. How happy are you right now with your 2023 season, man?
Well, so far super blessed, but these, the green trees that I've been working with this year and producing, man, they're so fragile the whole way. Like when you see a ball python pair, you get pretty excited. When you see the female ovulate, you get really excited because there's really good likelihood that good things are going to happen a few months down the line. When I see green trees pair, I say, oh, that makes an awesome picture. When I see a female ovulate, I think, oh, I hope she doesn't die. And then when she lays, I think, I hope she doesn't slug out. And then when I get eggs in the incubator, I think, I hope they don't go bad. And then when babies start to hatch, I think, I hope they don't die in the egg. And then finally, when they come out and they perch, I feel like, okay, now here we go.
Right.
So I'm off to a good start so far. I've got one clutch that's hatched. I've got 3 clutches in the incubator. I've got another female that's really, I think, right in the process of ovulating right now. And then I've got another girl that's still pairing. So for me, I'm off to the best start I've ever had in green trees, but it's still really, really early.
I'm jealous, man. Eventually, I want to get close and get me a green tree python. Now I gotta ask. I've been wanting to ask you this for the longest, man. Like a couple things. First, I want to talk about Arlington, but first I'm gonna ask you, like, you have been so successful in the reptile breeding. Do you feel like it's because you breed multiple species? Like you just don't focus on ball pythons. You do ball pythons, short-tailed pythons, green tree python. You breed so many species. Do you feel like that's kind of helped you be a little more successful?
Well, I think that certainly breeding ball pythons for a decade before I even attempted to breed green trees helped me immensely. I learned so much from everything about the aspects of my incubator, the flaws and faults in my incubator, faults in my incubation box and temperatures. And I learned so much because I had incubated so many ball python clutches that when it came to do the green trees, I really had a fundamental knowledge of what's happening in that box, over that 49 to 60 day period, depending on the species. So absolutely working with different species helped me prepare for what's really more delicate. The green trees are more delicate than the Borneos and the balls, really than any of the other species that I work with. So yeah, it definitely helped me prepare.
Right. Billy, I wanted to ask you the same question. I know that you're crushing it when it comes to the ball pythons, and I seen that you actually ended up buying a snake from Bill. I want to say it was a green tree python, I believe. You bought something from Bill. So my question to you is, you have pretty much master ball pythons. Are you breeding anything else?
Well, we're growing out a green tree collection that's our 7th animal, I think, with picking up one from Mr. Bill. Then we also have a pretty good crested gecko collection. And then we also breed hognose as well. That's my daughter's stuff. So we don't have a lot of hognose yet, but she did well this year, so we're letting her upgrade it a pretty good bit. But it'll be a while before we breed green trees, but we're grow out a very nice collection of them.
I love that. I love seeing that, because you're going to have those customers that want ball pythons. You're going to have those customers that want. Susie said, "Bill, I love your shirt."
Got it. Well, listen, I'm glad Susie's here because I'm relatively new to the Ship Your Reptiles family, but I'm here now. Better late than never. Susie is really taking care of me, and I've gotten to know her, and so now I'm part of the family, and looking forward to moving on.
Of course. Shout out to Ship Your Reptiles, man. I need one of them shirts, man. I love that shirt. Ship Your Reptiles. They the top. They the best. They the best company.
I had my Rice Family Reptile T-shirt on, but I spilled tacos on it when I was eating dinner, so I had to change it.
like I said, I love that shirt. I need one. Shout out to Ship Your Reptiles, man, the best shipping company around, man. Now, Billy, how many right now currently, how many snakes do you currently have in your collection, do you think?
Man, snakes altogether. I'd say we're well in 300 and something ball pythons, 400 and something.
I asked that to say, having so many snakes, having upwards of 300-400 snakes, and being in the game for 8+ years, to be successful, have you had to, breed your own rats, or are you still buying them?
We have a 40 by 70 rodent facility. So,
oh wow,
we produce our rodents for all of our needs. We produce rodents for other people's needs.
So you telling me you killing it on the ball python side, and you killing it on the rat side?
We do enough of it to cut our costs. So like we way overproduce, but it makes it where we're very rural where we live. So it would be a long ways and a hassle to drive and pick up rodents and buy rodents. So that's something we'll never do. We'll always produce our own. So we overproduce a lot just so that we never have to worry about a need. And then also we can provide we mainly wholesale to some bigger customers.
Oh man, you ain't playing, you ain't messing around. I love that. Great advice too.
We have direct, our own direct source where we know exactly what's going in our animals.
Right. That definitely makes sense. You raise up your rats so you know what you're feeding your snakes. Susie said, Billy, do you have a rat terrier that helps out like Justin does?
Don's a rat terrier.
now, Bill, man, I gotta ask this, man. I just seen Arlington a while back, and I seen, everybody when they come to the Arlington show, everybody congregates at your facility, man. Like, how does that feel, just having the respect of the industry, that when there's big shows going on, people want to come to your home and see your animals? Like how does that feel? Does that give you like a certain sense of pride?
Oh, it's a blessing, and it's super humbling. Every time I have it, it seems to grow, and the people that are interested in coming, I'm literally humbled and astounded that they want to come. It's not an easy drawing. It's a 40-minute drive from the venue. I'm a little bit out in the country, so it's not just like, hey, let's take a 10-minute Uber and head over there for a few minutes. I mean, it's a commitment to come, and I know that, and I just want to give the people that are out of town something to do on Friday night, something to get together and provide some food here. And, as all of these events, for me, at least, it's much more about the people coming than the animals. I mean, people want to come and see the animals that I have here, the green trees, but a lot of people just keep coming that have already seen the animals. So that makes me feel good that, maybe it's just that they want to come, and hang out with the people that I have here.
Right. I love that. I love seeing it. I mean, you see everybody, Kabelka, MJ, everybody. They were there.
Yeah.
Rice Family Reptiles. They were
Rice
there.
Family.
Literally the cream of the.
The Canadian reptile guys were here. Brian Cuscos was here, and there's so many people that aren't like common names like that, but they still come, and man, we just have a blast, and everybody just gets along. It's such a great interaction, I think.
I love that. How was it when you went down there to visit Billy?
I'm sorry, Derek, I couldn't hear you.
I said, how was it when you got the chance to go down there and see his facility?
Oh, it's amazing. It's just the atmosphere there of being around all the breeders, the knowledge Mr. Bill has, the knowledge everybody there has. It's fun to rub elbows with those type of people that like we had an hour-long probably conversation with Focus Cube Habitats while we're there. Is like that was very cool to hear all the things that they built, and we bounced business ideas back and forth off each other. It was a great time.
Right. I love it.
I love it. Unbelievable.
Now, Bill, you have some of the most amazing animals. I love the green tree pythons. I love the short tails. I got one from you. Now my question to you is, we get it. You know, everybody sells ball pythons. We love them. I love them. I get it. My question to you is when you're selling your green tree pythons, you know, the care requirements are so much different from a green tree python to a ball python. Do you feel like you got to be a little stricter on sales and who you're selling to when it comes to the green trees versus the ball pythons?
Well, luckily with the green trees, I'm really able to vet my customers, and that's man, that's such a blessing to be able to vet your customers as opposed to the other way around. Of course, I'm vetted as well as the seller, but I really do vet my customers, and I put them through, you know, not a rigorous, but I want to know what they're going to do with the animal once they get it, you know, at a minimum. But I'll go back to Derek. These things are not that much different to keep. And I hope that Billy will elaborate on, because he's just recently started keeping them. I keep baby green trees in the exact same rack that I keep my baby ball pythons in. The only difference is that I put a plastic coat hanger for a perch in there. And I use paper towels, you know, as a substrate instead of maybe you know, a cocoa fiber, Reptichip or whatever. But they are not that different really to take care of.
But the humidity and everything's pretty much the same.
No, you do have to, I think, supply them with a little more humidity than a ball python. Temperatures need to be a little bit lower than ball pythons, but that's easy to do in a ball python rack. I just keep the baby green trees in the lower levels of the rack, you know, and the baby balls in the upper levels. The Borneos are the same way. Baby Borneos are right in the same rack with the other two. They need a little bit lower temperature and a little higher humidity, so they're on the lower levels of the ball of the baby racks, and you know they're really not that much different once they're established. Okay, once you get one that's well established from a breeder, I don't know, Billy. What do you think? What's been your experience?
They're easier as long as you're up on like the feeding of them. They all take the food very well. They're better than ball pythons about that to me. And then also you keep the humidity high. As long as you're up on keeping your humidity very high, they're easier to take care of. They're cleaner, and we really enjoy them. I think the main thing is getting them established and getting them from a great source like Mr. Bill.
Now, when it comes to this is for both of y'all. When it comes to the green tree pythons, do you feel like they more of a like you can handle them, or do you feel like they're more of a display animal?
All the ones we have, one's nippy out of 7, and the rest of them are super handleable, including the one we got from Mr. Bill. When you see one of them crawl off the perch and crawl in your arms, it's really cool.
Man, I need one.
Ours are all also.
Yeah, ours are all very small.
Man, I need one now. Billy, man, now when it comes to ball pythons, you've been in this 8 years, and everybody's, you know, like I said, everybody's right now is currently talking about, oh, it's a recession, it's a recession. Have you noticed a slowdown, or are you still feeling like you're able to sell your snakes?
We're still selling our animals. We've seen a slowdown like in the middle, like projects like in the middle price range above pet quality, or you know, high end pet quality to really high stuff. In the middle there, that middle range has slowed down some. But as far as like our mindset and what we're doing, no slowdown whatsoever.
And
I know that's right.
You know, we still have full-time jobs, so you know we're not aiming to live off of what we're making. We're just aiming to make it grow. And
I love that you have a job, because I think that when it comes to breeding ball pythons, and don't get me wrong, there's still breeders that breed full time, but I love that like it's not your main source of income, because you can actually focus on your passion and not say, okay, well, we got to make rent this month. We got to sell this many snakes to make rent this month. That's when it becomes a headache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have like 5 businesses, so like ball pythons we're just as serious about as any of them as far as our business goes. Our passion is definitely there for it.
Bill, did you hear that flex? We got 5 businesses.
That's grinding, man. That is grinding. I love it.
I'm hearing we got 5, like, he needs 5 secretaries.
And a rat terrier.
And he said it's so calm, and I was like, that's like the calmest flex ever. He's like, yeah, we got 5 businesses.
Trying it. Love it.
And I love it, man. Now, Bill, man, just for shits and giggles, hot seat question. So Susie said, Billy, when did you take your last vacation?
When he came to my house, that's when.
Yeah.
Carrie State said, awesome, 5 businesses. Just for shits and giggles, you're selling snakes, you're killing it. Let's say you had a chance to sell a snake to a celebrity. Who would be your celebrity sale?
I've sold snakes to celebrities.
No, Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Me?
We work so much that we don't really watch a lot of TV, to be honest. So if you were to name like some actresses, we may or may not know them
Yeah, I would
because
like
we work a lot.
Okay. So okay, that's fine.
I don't really have a celebrity that
He's a
That-
sports guy. Like if you
Yeah.
ask him about some football,
just
he'll tell you.
anyone in the
Or name a football player. Give me a sport. You know sports. If you could sell to a football player, who would it be?
if I could sell to an OG like somebody awesome like say Derek Brooks or Ray Lewis, somebody like that, that's just been some awesome nasty defensive guy in the NFL, that'd be pretty cool to me.
Oh man, you should have said Patrick Mahomes. I'm from Kansas. You should have said Patrick Mahomes. Man.
Hey,
Then I would have liked you more.
If he wants one, we'll hook him up.
I love it, man. Now, Big Bill, man, like I said, you a legend. Just for shits and giggles, man. I don't know if you watch a lot of superhero movies. Are you familiar with Thanos?
Yes, I am.
This one snap
Yeah.
and everything's gone. So my question to you is like, you've been in this hobby for years. If you could Thanos one thing in the reptile hobby and it's gone, what would it be?
Well, I would say probably people that were not good for the hobby.
I like that.
That's kind of a broad answer, but it just kind of brings me back to like when I first got involved in the ball python community. I was talking to Justin. I think it was the same year that Justin got involved in the ball python community I did. So you're talking 20 years ago. Back then, I wasn't really a big active member of the ball python community because a lot of the leaders in the ball python industry then, not a lot. Some of them just weren't very nice people, I didn't think. And I didn't like a lot of the lack of transparency that was happening in the ball python community. And so I didn't involve myself very much. But it's been completely opposite. I think in the last 7-8 year time span, I think it's flipped completely. I think the leaders in the ball python community now are just the best people in reptile communities. I've been involved with the green tree community for 12 or 13 years, and they've always been stellar. I think they've always been really top-notch people, and I've strived to become one of them. But now I look at the ball python community and I can, honestly and thankfully say the same thing. I think the leaders, the ball python community right now are super solid, great ambassadors for ball pythons and reptiles in general. So I'm super stoked about that.
I love that. I love that answer. Now, and I thought you was going to say, we love the, captive born and bred snakes, but I thought you were going to say like wild caught or imports. I was going to say that, but I love your answer too, though.
There's a place for imported animals.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a place. A lot in green trees. Most of the place is not there. In other words, most people should not have an entry experience with an imported green tree. But having said that, for people that have more experience, and now I'm not talking about green trees in specific because it's illegal to import green tree pythons from Indonesia. But other species that it is legal to import, I think it's a valuable resource.
Right, I agree. I love that. Now, Rice Family Reptiles, man, same question. If you could, I don't know, you familiar with Thanos? If you could snap your finger and one thing in the reptile hobby is gone, what would it be?
cage cleaning.
I love that. I love that. That's you crack me up. That's super. Now, Bill, man, like I said,
Seriously, they're just drama. Let's just take all the drama out of it and enjoy what we're doing and be positive and promote it.
And support each other.
I love that. I love that, man. That's a great answer.
There's still drama in our community, in the reptile community.
All communities.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I think that we all need to come together. I agree. No drama. Come together and support you, Sark, and then just focus on keeping our animals, man, because we are definitely under attack. Now, Bill, man, I want to have a little fun, and I'm asking this question for a reason, and then we'll get back to the snakes. And I'm gonna tell you why. I want to see. So my question to you is, and I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Are you and I want to enact a scenario. Are you a lover or a fighter?
Me?
Yes.
I can't be both?
No, you got to pick one for this scenario. Are you a lover or a fighter?
I'm a lover.
Okay. So well, I want to enact a scenario and I want to see what would happen. Now,
Okay.
we all know about breeder loans. Now, let's say you did a breeder loan with me, and I want to get your reaction. Let's say you did a breeder loan with me, and you called me, you said, Derek, call me right quick and say, Derek, I know you just had a clutch hatch. I want to come get my snakes. Call me right quick. I want to see your reaction. Call me right quick. Say, Derek, Derek, I'm coming to get my snakes. I want to come pick them up.
Derek, I'm on the way right now. I'm going to come get my snakes.
And then what would you do if I said, you know what? They all my snakes. I'm keeping them all. What would you say?
I'd come up there and kick your ass.
So in essence, you're a fighter. I love that. You're a fighter. I love that. I love that. Now, Billy, like, what's your take on that? Like, how do you feel about breeder loans? Are you for them? Are you against them?
Us personally, I would rather not do that. I just think, there's only going to be one animal unless you're lucky enough to hit two. That's the best, So, I mean, you can't split one snake down. I shy away from it. I haven't done one, and I really, really don't have a preference to want to do that.
Right. Well, then you'll never have to run into that encounter of me saying I'm keeping all the snakes.
Keep them all.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, man, you have such an amazing company. You've been doing it for 8 years. What are some of your future goals? Like, where do you want to take Rice Family Reptiles?
So I think, we got into this to basically lay a foundation for our daughter. When it first started, it was going to be something where we teach her business skills, life skills, and like to balance a checkbook or reconcile a bank statement, something kids aren't going to learn, in school today. So,
And she loves animals anyway.
yeah, and we wanted to make it about animals because there's nothing to bring out responsibility in someone like animals, because if you don't take care of them, meet their needs, then you're not going to have animals very long, right? Or not healthy ones anyway. So we started at that. So now we want to grow it into something to where we spend more time together as a family, that we grow it into a dream company that, that takes us everywhere that our dreams go. Like right now it's taking, the girls into geckos and hognose and just wherever they're passionate, and I'm happy to see them go. And we just want to make it into the absolute best company that we possibly can. And I'm passionate about the ball python, so I want to at least be second best in the world at breeding ball pythons. I won't stop till I get there. So I say second best because that's my joke with Justin is we can't be first, so we're at least going to be second.
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
I love that, man. So ultimately, you've created such an amazing company, and you've brought your family together. It's something that y'all could do together, spend time, and ultimately, when God forbid, but if something ever happened to you and you're gone, it's something that you can actually give your daughters.
Exactly. That's the future. That's where I was headed. Is later on is something that can be established to take care of them, because a lot of people don't know we have a special needs son as well. He's autistic, and Dawn's wearing our autism t-shirts as the month of April.
That's awesome.
For month of April is Autism Awareness Month, and so you see a lot of blue lights. If no one knows what blue lights are on houses during April, that's autism awareness. And so we have a son that's severely autistic. So we raise a lot of money during the month of April, and it actually starts during the month of March and carries all the way through into April. And,
Yeah, we're in a small town, so to say this probably doesn't sound like a lot to someone who lives in a larger or more populated area, but we sold 1,000 shirts in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
every bit of the profit we make goes back into what a child with autism at our school needs. We provide it if the school can't provide it. I'm a teacher there. So it's just completely nonprofit. Again, we're in a small community, so we don't have a whole lot of funding. So it's a way for us to help these kids out. The last 2 years, we've been able to actually develop 2 sensory rooms so that when the children get too stimulated in the classroom, they can go out of the classroom and into a sensory room. And actually, some of the children that are in a typical room have got, a little frustrated or overwhelmed, and they've been able to benefit from going into those rooms as well, regardless of whether they have autism or not. And so we didn't have those until the last couple of years. And so this yearly fundraiser that we've been doing for about 6 years now has really turned into something pretty large, and we're very proud of what we've been able to do with it.
I love that. That is such an awesome answer.
That's where I was going with the 5 business deal is we don't have to live off our reptiles. It's something in the future for our family. So like we've been in the reptile business 8 years. We've never taken 1 penny from our reptile business, but we take money from our other 4 businesses. But this business, we take no money from it. Fully just reinvests into itself, snowballing every single year.
I love that, man. That is awesome.
It's a long-term play, and that's why I know if Billy chooses to be, he's going to be successful with Green Trees because he's not in a rush. And as we've talked about many times, that's the number 1 rule with being successful with Green Trees. Don't be in a rush. It's not a quick, by any means, it's not a quick, not a quick turnover, whether you're keeping or trying to breed them or whatever. It's a game of patience.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Now we've went almost an hour. It was amazing chatting with you guys. I do got one last question. Bill, man, next Arlington, man, can I come through, man?
You have an open invitation.
I love that, man. I appreciate that.
And it doesn't have to be the Arlington show. If you make your way to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're welcome anytime, brother.
That's love, man. I appreciate that. You're a legend. You're an icon. I appreciate that.
Derek, you better save some money, man. When you go there, you're getting into Green Trees.
I want to so bad, man. I just ended up getting a monitor, man. But that's my next dream animal, a green tree python, and I know where I'm going. Just again, man, this was an amazing podcast. Rice Family Reptiles, Billy and Don. I appreciate y'all hopping on. We went an amazing hour. I love to keep them to about an hour, so hopefully down the road you don't mind coming back for a round 2.
We'll come back anytime you want us.
Thank you.
That's love, man. Bill, same to you, man. I appreciate you hopping on and chatting and hanging out with us.
Of course. Billy and Donna, it was great talking with you guys. Look forward to seeing you. And Derek, it's been way too long, man.
Hey, we got to do a podcast with us too soon.
Anytime.
All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have an amazing night. Thank you again so much. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Man, how awesome was that? We had Rice Family Reptiles. They are crushing it. 8 years in the game. Canova affiliates for a reason because they produce just amazing animals. We had Bill from Phoenix Reptiles, Green Tree Python, Chondro legend. Awesome podcast. We freaking had Ship Your Reptiles in the building. Again, man, if you're shipping reptiles, this is the company to do it. Top shippers in the business. Make sure you check them out. Again, man, this is Big Reptile Talk. Everybody that was in the chat, I appreciate you. If you in the future, if you watch this podcast, I appreciate you for watching it. Before I go, I do want to say support USART is so important. Make sure you check out all the podcast sponsors. Until next time, man, this is Big Reptile Talk, and I'm out of here.
Big Reptile Talk. Yeah, we working. Big Reptile Talk. When it comes to talking about snakes, yeah.